Okay, hey everyone. Oh, I'm okay, so apparently Jurassic World just released its final trailer. And I haven't done any live reactions to these, so I figured I'd give it a shot. I wish I could, like, put, like, the thing in the, corner like most people do, but I can't. You can, I'll provide a link in the description to the trailer, and, you can all check it out for yourselves. So here we go, Jurassic World's official final trailer. Oh, there's the egg again. The I-Rex is hatching. Owen's hiding from it. And the boys are running. Those guys have like 3 days left till retirement. Whoa. Claire's releasing the Rex. Scary. Pterosaurs. Zara being dropped.
Safety, right?
Clasificada P13 en cines el 12 de junio.
I wasn't expecting random Spanish, but, I'm gonna admit, for a last trailer that was kind of disappointing because it was way too similar to one of the TV spots. It just had some added footage to it. I'm sure you appreciate that they didn't show the Pteranodon being eaten by the Mosasaur, though, right? I guess this is, so since I have some time to kill, I guess this is as, good a time as any to talk at length about my view on Jurassic World. So far, I really want to see it. And I don't typically want to see, these movies in the theaters, so you can probably guess how big a deal this is to me. As many of you who know me probably know, I love prehistoric animals, especially the Mesozoic fauna. And I am so happy that this movie appears to be giving Mosasaurus a little publicity. I think Mosasaurus will become really popular after this film because they're clearly trying to make this creature famous, and she might not have that big a role, but then again, neither did the Dilophosaurus, and that became stock after the first movie. It's too bad they had to warp it beyond recognition to do so. But like, wait. I think I'll turn on the light for a second. Okay, that probably didn't change anything, but still, it looks a little less gloomy, I guess. But, like, I also like how, so far I'm liking the animals' designs. I even, came to grips with the way the Pteranodons look. In fact, I don't think they're that ugly anymore. The lack of accuracy, you know, people, this isn't a documentary, and there are plenty of, like, I don't have a problem with Jurassic World not giving the raptors feathers, because, like, this is a, I think even people who, like, even I'd be complaining, I think. I mean, these are, the Jurassic Park raptors are iconic. Their appearance is iconic, too. And, I think even I love feathered dinosaurs, even I think that I'd be complaining about it. Plus, they have a relatively good excuse, which I'll get into later. Um, and then there's Rexy, she's we already know that she's the T-Rex from the first movie, and like, how is she gonna sprout feathers out of nowhere? Like they could always like inject a gene into her, but like they're not gonna do that. um, the people are complaining about the CGI. I just don't see it. I just don't see what the big deal is with the CGI. Like, it probably doesn't look as good as the ones from the early installments from the first movie. Like, but then again, people have been complaining about the quality of the second and third ones too. Like, the only effects that are unanimously agreed to be good in the third one is the pteranodons. But like, in the, like, here, I mean, the CG might be a little more noticeable, but at least the animals look like they're, like they belong in the environment they're placed in. I mean, the animals don't look like they were just superimposed in there, like a, like one of those badly done, short films. They look like they could feasibly be in this environment that they're put in. But like, with all the general inaccuracies, I think that it might be due to the, I'm gonna jump aboard the excuse that it was genetic meddling. According to official sources, the raptors have a lot of lizard DNA in them, so like they're mixed with lizards and birds. So the lizards might be where they get the scales from, and those cat-like eyes. The like, they have mannerisms of birds, but they have mannerisms and intelligence like birds, but they have bodies more like lizards. I can see that being the excuse. And I imagine that that's sort of why the pteranodons and the dimorphodons are kind of inaccurate. They have like the grasping talons are because they use bird DNA. And honestly, I think that makes more sense because unlike dinosaurs, pterosaurs have no living descendants. And the only animals that are at all closely related to pterosaurs are crocodiles, crocodilians, and birds. And crocodilians just because they're archosaurs, and birds because they're dinosaurs. And so pterosaurs would pterosaurs are related to birds, just not their descendants. Pterosaurs are related through the dinosaurs. So yeah, I can imagine that's why the pterosaurs act decidedly bird-like throughout the Jurassic Park series. It's because they were created with the genetics of birds. And plus, as many people have pointed out, the animals in Jurassic World seem to be engineered based on park-goer expectations. And while I would rather that they try to educate people rather than just feed into their expectations, I can see why they did that. They want... InGen is filled with greedy jerks. That's what I'm going to chalk it up to. Like, you got Dr. Wu, who's way too full of himself. You've got Hoskins, who thinks that all the animals are just dollar signs. You got Claire, who clearly has no idea what the word foresight means. The so I might as well talk about the human characters. Owen, played by Chris Pratt, is the reason my mom's gonna be seeing this movie. My mom loves Chris Pratt, but she hates Bryce Dallas Howard. So something tells me that she'll both love and hate this movie. But like, Owen seems like a pretty good character. He's got all the best parts of Dr. Grant and all the best parts of Dr. Malcolm in there. He's got Grant's intelligence and sanity, I guess. He's got the sanity part for Grant, as well as the expertise on raptors. And he's got Malcolm's sense of humor. He's sarcastic. He's kind of a perv. He knows that all of this is pretty much just going to end in disaster. He does seem to approve of the park, though. Like, the park on the whole isn't a bad thing to him, but then again, that might just be because they gave him a job. It's the Indominus Rex that he disapproves of, and I disapprove of her, too. Claire, I've been kind of mixed on, but ultimately, she seems like a character that I'll like. I mean, I like the scientist characters. They, as long as they're not, like, jerks, and Claire seems like she's less of a jerk than the other ones. Like I said, she's just not very good. She doesn't have any common sense. I think that the rumor that the I-Rex has human DNA will come true, but it will turn out that that was done without Claire's input, which is why she didn't anticipate how intelligent it was. But that's just my opinion. I'm going to probably be seeing this movie on my birthday. Which is the 13th. You know, whenever I watch Jurassic Park nowadays, and every time Tim is on screen talking about dinosaurs, I'm pretty much like, hello, 9-year-old me, how did you get into this movie that was made 2 days before you were born? I really need a haircut. Masrani, I kind of feel sorry for, because he's apparently supposed to be Hammond 2.0, and like that pretty much means things are gonna end badly for him. And I'm not sure how to feel about Henry Wu. He was like, he seems like he's way too, like, he seems a little bit nicer here, because he was all like, I'm so smart in the original film, but here he seems like he's a little more lax, and a little less obnoxious. But from what the video game says, he's still very full of himself. But like I don't know what to say about that. But like, Hoskins, I'm not sure at all what to think. On the one hand, he doesn't seem very villainous so far. He seems like he's actually got the right idea. Like, every trailer we've seen him in is all about him going after the I-Rex. He wants to kill the I-Rex, and we all want her dead, because she's the dinosaur villain here. And he keeps talking about how his most common quote in the film, in the trailers, is expressing concern about how there's not enough, they don't have enough boats to get the tourists off of the island, and this thing is killing anything that moves for fun. So, like, Every time he shows up, and in the clip where Owen saves that worker from the raptors, I'm like, I noticed that Vic seems genuinely concerned for that worker, and I'm thinking to myself, he's not looking very much like a villain so far. I mean, I get he's supposed to be greedy, but I'm not seeing any of that. I know he's supposed to hate the dinosaurs, but he raises good points in the video game. He comments that the raptors are going to that the raptors might end up communicating with the wild raptors, and that could lead to trouble. And even Barry brings that up in the trailer, which I'll get to. I'll get to him in a moment. And I'm like, Vic doesn't seem very evil so far. But then again, like, Vincent D'Onofrio is known to be a good choice for playing villains, so it's possible that he'll express a more antagonistic role at some point. My theory, personally, is that he'll end up, as a kind of nod to the book, that he'll try to like, firebomb the island with everyone still on it while he escapes. I imagine that will end badly for him, though. But like, like, I kind of imagine him so far to be a greedier version of Muldoon. Like he's working there, but not because he wants to. He's only in it for the money. Barry, Owen's friend who works on the Raptors. He seems like he's a pretty cool character. Yeah, I think that's a little better. The writer of the film says that he's gonna play a bigger role than has been advertised. He calms down the raptors by speaking to them in French, so there's that. He seems like an interesting character so far. We just haven't seen enough of him yet. The two little kids, Zach and Gray. I'm thoroughly convinced by now that they're supposed to be like the Lex and Tim of this movie. I'm gonna get into a more comfortable position. I'm thoroughly convinced by now that they're the Lex and Tim of this movie. Gray, we already know, is pretty much Tim. He loves dinosaurs. He's really excitable. There is this really cute moment where he runs up to Claire and hugs her. She's his aunt. Zach, I guess, could end up being the Lex of this movie, because he seems like, I like the idea that he might turn out to be a hacker, because, like, we see him with, like, he's always wearing those headphones, and he records the Mosasaurus feeding show with his phone. So I can see him turning out to be somewhat tech savvy. Of course, I'd be recording that Mosasaurus feeding show. I'll get into those details a little bit more. Okay, so let me think. I guess I'll go into the minor characters now. First off, the characters that we know are going to die. Katashi Hamada, the ACU member, you may have heard me make a 2 days left until retirement joke there. I would not be surprised if they decided to make that joke in the film. But like he's apparently supposed to capture the I-Rex, but like he doesn't do a very good job, but like who can blame him? It's hard to blame him when you're going off against what's basically a sentient dragon. But like We also know that Katie McGrath's character, Zara, is going to be carried off by a pteranodon, then dropped into the Mosasaurus pit. Now, when I heard that, I was skeptical, because I thought that would just be way too ridiculous. Like, I immediately got the mental image of the pteranodon flying over the Mosasaurus tank, then dropping her, and the Mosasaurus just jumping out to get her. But then they showed it in the trailer, and it actually looked good. Like, they didn't have her, like, just fall into its jaws. They had her fall into the water, then the Mosasaurus rises out. Katie McGrath is getting a lot of publicity for just this. And I'm thinking to myself, why is that? Like, she's clearly not going to be playing such a big role. She's just going to be, like, the kid's babysitter, and then she gets eaten. I guess it's because she's the first woman in a Jurassic Park movie to get the axe, but, like, that seems a little, I don't know, that seems like a very dubious honor. Although, I think the main reason is because apparently Katie McGrath is extremely popular. I don't know why. Apparently she played a role on the TV show Merlin. To be honest, she wouldn't be the reason I'd watch Merlin. But like, so that's all the human characters I can think of. What do I think about the Indominus Rex? Well, it's better than the dinosaur-human hybrids that would have been in this movie. If they had done that, they'd be jumping the shark instead of feeding it to a Mosasaurus. But like, the I-Rex seems like she's gonna make a pretty imposing villain. I kind of wish that they gave her a somewhat more original design, because people have pointed out that she looks way too much like an Allosaurid or a Carnotaurus, or no, not a Carnotaurus, a Giganotosaurus. So there's that. I do like the fact that they actually kind of gave her feathers. Like, if those quills on her arms and her head are supposed to be feathers. But, like, makes me wonder why they didn't give the raptors feathers, though, because, like, they could easily have given the raptors little mohawks like they did in the third one. And maybe a few quills on their arms, too, like wings. But, like, so, let me think. That's not all I have to say about Jurassic World. I guess what else, the only thing I can say left is, I really want Jurassic World to be real. Just without the Indominus Rex. Like, it would be great without the Indominus Rex. I would love to go there. As you can tell from my choice of sidekick, I would definitely want to go see the aviary. Like, the aviary I'd be spending every waking moment in, even if the cloning process mangled those pterosaurs beyond recognition. Like, I love pterosaurs. I love them way more than I love dinosaurs. I love them since I was a kid, and looking back, I don't know why those were the ones that instantly caught my interest. Like, I think it's because I like things that can fly. I don't know why, but I like things that can fly. I mean, lately my dinosaur tastes have expanded too. I'm very fond of Tyrannosaurids and sauropods and Maniraptors. I'm not that into ceratopsians though. I don't know why. To me, they come off as kind of dull. Um, but like speaking of ceratopsians, the Gentle Giants Petting Zoo. Like my sisters would love that place. Especially my youngest sister. She loves sauropod dinosaurs. She loves them so much, and or at least they're her favorite dinosaurs. She's not as into dinosaurs as I am, and like I can see her like that little kid in that one trailer. I'd see her hugging the Apatosaurus, and maybe my other little sister riding one of the Triceratopses. I'd probably be trying to get one of the Gallimimuses to come up to me. Because, like, those things are adorable. But, like, I really need a haircut. I'd also, I think the two attractions I would most love to go to in Jurassic World would be the aviary and the Mosasaurus feeding show. And the underwater observatory, because that also involves the Mosasaurus. Like, the Mosasaurus, like I said, the Mosasaurus is going to steal the show. Even if she doesn't play a major role, she's going to be the one that everyone is talking about. Unfortunately, they'll probably be referring to her as the water dinosaur, and I'm like, no, it's not a dinosaur. It's a giant ocean-going lizard. She. I like to keep the pronouns in check. Speaking of which, the one thing I don't like about the website, besides the park cams, which I'll rant about, which I guess I'll give a short rant later because I know people are gonna ask. The one thing I don't like about the website is the fact that in their little blurb for the aviary, they call the pterosaurs flying dinosaurs. No! Those are not flying dinosaurs. Granted, a normal aviary usually houses flying dinosaurs, but these are pterosaurs. There's a difference. The weird thing is, in the actual information sheet for the aviary, they actually get it right. I mean, they refer to it as an enclosed dinosaur aviary, but they go on to call the animals pterosaurs instead of dinosaurs. So I'm thinking that the name dinosaur aviary is just kind of like a technical term. But like, what also bugs me is that the page for the aviary refers to them as pterodons, and I hate it when people do that. I hate it when people call pteranodons pterodons. Like, it's pteranodon so hard to pronounce? It's like, it's less syllables than most dinosaur names. It's less syllables than most pterosaur names. You wouldn't believe how many people can't pronounce Quetzalcoatlus and Rhamphorhynchus. Heck, I couldn't spell Rhamphorhynchus when I was a kid. I could pronounce it expertly, but I couldn't spell it. So how is Pteranodon the hard one to spell? But I'm getting sidetracked. Like, the other thing I don't like about the website is the stupid park cams. Like, I was psyched when I heard about the park cams. Like they weren't up when I first saw the website, but I was so enraptured in the website. It was so cool. I wanted the park to be real because it made the park look so real. I saw all these happy people running around having fun, and I was like, oh, I want to be one of them. I want to go to this park, even though I know it's a Jurassic Park movie, so I know everything that can go wrong will go wrong. But, like, then the park cams actually came out, and I looked at them, and I'm like, this is a huge disappointment. Like, they were horrifyingly boring. Like, they were, they showed absolutely no dinosaurs. There were no dinosaurs. Not even some, like, looping CGI imagery. Like, they could have done that. They could have shown, like, footage from the trailers, maybe, and then it would have been, at least marginally enjoyable. But, like, they didn't. Like, they just, like, the Cretaceous cruise, I could look at people rafting on a stock footage website. They have a cam for the gyrosphere line, which I think is kind of pointless. Who wants to watch people wait in line? Their petting zoo cam is like it shows maintenance workers shoveling dinosaur droppings. Yeah, because that's what I want to see when I look up a live webcam of a petting zoo. People shoveling animal excrement. It's not like I want to see kids playing with and hugging and petting animals. Like, it's not like I want to see kids interacting adorably with baby animals. No, I want to see workers shoveling animal excrement. The T-Rex paddock is the worst. Like, you look at it, and there's nothing. Just foliage. Like, the T-Rex doesn't even get a cameo. She's just there. She's completely hidden. I mean, is it supposed to be an homage to the first film? Like, I guess, but it's kind of rude building us up for that. And the worst part about the park cams, this is the real stab right there. Just go look at the park cams after 10 o'clock p.m. Just go ahead and do that. Because 10 o'clock p.m. is when the park is supposed to be closed. It's supposed to be at night, and when park capacity drops down to 0. Guess what happens? You look at the park cams, the park is in broad daylight and completely packed. So that really just sucks every bit of realism out of the website, and that is just unforgivable. So, like, anyone who's new to the website, I advise you just to skip the park cams, because there's nothing good to come from them. Nothing bad either, other than your suspension of disbelief being broken. They're not. I guess I shouldn't have said they were bad. I take that back. They're not bad. They're just dull. They're just dull, and they take away the suspension of disbelief. So there's that. That I'm gonna stop ranting about those. Other than that, the website is awesome, and you should check it out. I really hope that it stays up after the movie. I'm sure it will, because they know people are going to complain about it. My mom and I are convinced that Jurassic World will become a reality through Universal Studios. And I heard online somewhere that, yeah, that might become a thing. There's apparently some space that they're going to clear out to put a new Jurassic Park themed thing because of Jurassic World, and I'm almost certain that it's going to be a defictionalized version of Jurassic World. I really hope it will be like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, just with Jurassic World. Like, I can totally imagine what it would be like. I can imagine it would have a lot of the attractions that they're going for. Like, there would also be, for the big dinosaurs, they'd have all these animatronics and a gyrosphere ride for people. Perhaps they'll do like what the Magical Menagerie does in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and make the Gentle Giant's Petting Zoo a toy shop, where you can buy little dinosaur stuffed animals. That would be cool. Like I think little kids would like that. And the aviary. They could make the aviary and fill it with animatronic pterosaurs that like flap and screech, or heck, even animatronic pterosaurs that are like on strings and like can like on zip line type strings and swoop down like that. And the Mosasaurus tank, like they could have something like that. I mean, they already have a Jaws exhibit, ride, so an aquatic mosasaurus thing, like, jumping out at you would be, kind of cool. And we all know that there's gonna be a T-Rex place and a raptor. There's already a raptor one. Like, they pretty much immediately put that there. I think that's a precursor to this hypothetical immersive Jurassic World, attraction. So, I really hope that happens. We've been talking about possibly going to Universal again someday. Not this year, not this summer, because those are expensive. The amusement parks are insanely expensive. So we're not going to be doing that this year. Like, this is not something we do every year. We always go to Florida over the summer, but we don't always go to amusement parks. This one year we went to Disney, and this other year we went to Orlando because we wanted to see the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Other than that, we don't typically do that stuff. But like, but if they do come out with that, I would look forward to the next time I go to, Orlando, and, that would be a lot of fun. I would love to go to a hypothetical Jurassic World, theme park created by Orlando. But until then, I'll make do with this little wish fulfillment fanfiction I started on Archive of Our Own. I'll put a link to some of the stuff that I just mentioned on in the description, and I suppose that's it. Wow, this was longer than I had expected it to be. So I'll see you next video. Bye.